going to level with you, Molly. Opioids have a 97% relapse rate. You have gone through this 15 times. Do you know what an opiate antagonist is?
No.
It's a shot we give you once a month. The shot essentially makes you immune to getting high.
Is it safe?
Are you kidding me? Now all of a sudden your body's a temple?
You have to be clean for at least a week.
4 more days, seriously?
Tired of what we've been through. I'm scared for you whenever she's around.
Who was that? If I wasn't a junkie, would you even ask?
Probably not. Whenever I've decided to re-engage with her, I've always done it with my eyes wide open.
So you feel like you've run out of hope.
Please, I can't do this.
Yes, you can.
You wanna give up the fight.
Mom, how is she? She sits around smoking, twitching, and I am there watching her like a hawk and pretending that I'm not. Almost one day down. 3 more to go.
When you think it's the end of the road.
I'm so sorry. Wish I'd been around.
You should have been.
You think it's my fault that you're an addict? Oh my God. It just goes on and on.
I am
and
so
on.
sorry that my drug addiction is so incredibly difficult on you.
Sometimes I get the feeling that I don't want to love her anymore.
When you think it's the end of the road.
Do you know how many times that I have told myself that I'm not gonna steal to get high?
Someday I want things to be easier for her.
That I'm not gonna lose custody of my children to get high.
When you think that the mountain's too high.
Oh, please make it stop.
What does it take to get seen?
And you'll never get through.
I'm so sorry, Mom.
If there's anyone who has the strength to break free of this, it's you. I really believe that. I'm proud of you.
Somehow you do.
Okay. Yeah, no, I hadn't seen that movie, Blaine. But it looks good.
It's really good. It's the closest thing. So people who have never dealt with addiction before, it's the closest thing. Hello, guys. It's the closest thing that a non-person who's never dealt with addiction can get to the actuality of it. And so since that was our topic and some of the things that I want to talk about tonight, I wanted to show that clips to kind of give another reference and resources for people to go to.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I like stories.
Yeah. How is everybody? You want to give shout outs to everybody today?
Yeah. You want me to do it, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, it's a crime and shame. How are you today? Hi, Ozzy. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Jill. Hi, child. Let's see who we got. Extracted Thoughts, of course, Blaine. We got Deb in the house, and it's her 39th anniversary, wedding anniversary today. So yeah.
Anniversary.
Yeah. And that's about it yet. We'll have to wait. I can't even see. Oh, I guess I could go over here. How many?
Yeah,
people
there's only about 20 people watching.
21 watching. Yeah.
Yeah, right now. So
Yeah.
it's all right. They'll
Yep.
be in. I should have posted it earlier.
Hey, yeah, well, I raced it to my Twitter and Facebook and that, and I quickly made a little video just to say. So we'll see. Sometimes it starts off slow and it gets a little bit bigger, of course, as it goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, hello, Deb. You're welcome.
I suppose we love Deb.
Yeah, we do. We love.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Adam still.
I know he just now accepted my friend request today, and I've sent it like a week ago.
Oh, really? I know.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that little heifer.
Sorry. I know. He's even too busy for me and Deb sometimes.
Yeah.
And Deb, she knows.
He's styling hair.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So what's tonight? So you're gonna tell us some stories?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna kind of give a little bit of a backstory. A lot of people don't know much about addiction. Hey, Journey, welcome. So growing up, it was natural for me. Uh, my uncle was an addict, and I can remember as uh, my mom was in her 20s when she had me,
You're talking about Clint Farmer, correct? Is that what you're talking?
yes,
Okay.
yep, that's who I'm talking about.
And your mom, then that's your mom's sister or brother.
His brother, yeah. And so, growing up, it was normal. My dad sold drugs, smoked weed. My mom worked at Chrysler trying to take care of us kids. And, growing up, you know, um, it was normal. It was that lifestyle was normal for me. And uh, so I remember, I think I was 4 years old. I walked into the bathroom and my uncle had a needle hanging out of his arm. You know what I mean? And then I remember having to go to the hospital, and he had a big hole in his arm. You know, and so I was introduced to that at a very young age. And by the time I was 12 or 13 years old, I started smoking weed and drinking. But as I was younger, I had abandonment issues because my dad chose the streets and to sell drugs, and so I didn't feel accepted to anybody. I didn't feel worthy of love, so I started looking for different places, different things, um, to fill that void, and I turned to alcohol and weed, and then I started selling drugs in high school, and I remember, that void that I felt. uh, Ashley, me and her when we were younger, I would let her go out with other men because I didn't want her to leave me. You know what I mean? I didn't want that abandonment issue. Instead of her leaving me because we were young and dumb and hadn't experienced life yet. It was just uh, hard to love myself, and I think that's part of the reason that started my addiction when it did. And as I grew older, I got into a little bit of. I got arrested December 22nd, 2011. I was probably 21, and at this time I was just smoking and drinking, and I started burglarizing houses with my gang. And when I came home after 9 months, I got introduced to methamphetamine and the needle, and from that point on, it was over. I don't know if you know much about meth, but
My niece does it, but I don't. I really don't.
yeah. Uh, Back then, it was probably 2012, 2013. So it was anhydrous dope. Um, and what they do is they use anhydrous ammonia to make it. And that's a chemical from farms. They use that. I know how to make it. You use that, lithium batteries, so on and so forth. And so I got introduced to that at 22, 23 years old. And I remember staying up for 28 days straight and caught my first domestic with my girlfriend. Uh, I fought my dad, you know. By this time, my dad was sober, trying to get me to do right. But, it was too late. You know what I mean? My dad was trying to be my dad, and he was my friend, you know. And I think that takes a toll. That takes a toll on children, if you're not in their lives, and
Absolutely.
you know. I think that's why I'm such a good dad now, because I don't want my kids to go through that, even though they've experienced some of those things. Uh, you know, uh, a lot of it has to do with the way you look at your children, because the way you look at your children will cause them to look at themselves the same way. I know growing up, that was a big thing for me. Me and my dad made amends before he died. And emptiness, Journey says, I wonder what the biggest influence is. Was people were emptiness, absolutely. Emptiness, when you have that emptiness, especially at a young age, when you have, in the presence of company, you can feel so alone. Because when you have people around you, there's still a void inside of you. If it's not full, you'll never get the satisfaction that you need. And I think that's what I struggled with a lot. And I realized that finally over the last 4 years, as I tried to progress and get clean, is I had to fill that emptiness that I found inside. I had to love myself. I had to want to change, people have influence also, because you're empty, you're going to start looking for people who are empty like you. That's the biggest thing in addiction, in the drug world, in gang activity. That's what you do. You start finding people like that and surrounding yourself with them. So it's a hassle, especially when you're accustomed to it. Um, it's hard. I remember a lot of people ask me what addiction's like. It's like selling your house, selling your car, selling your kids. It's like waking up and wanting to kill yourself. It's like not wanting to take the next step to get out of bed, not having the motivation to just say hi to somebody. It's a struggle. It's a struggle every day, and even now in recovery, it's a struggle, but it's not as hard. It's losing your children. It's not wanting to hurt the people that are close to you, but doing so. It's lying. It's cheating. It's stealing. Yes, I am. Jesus actually saved my life. And I'll tell that story. I'll tell that story in a later segment. So I'll break this up. But yes, I actually have been introduced to Jesus. As a matter of fact, I have my Bible right here, the Life Recovery Bible that I read every day. So thank you for asking that question.
I was going to say, I guess we all need tools to cope, right? Everyone has their ways. And, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'll just say this. My husband had the same thing as you in a sense. He got abandoned. Him and his brothers got abandoned by their father in a sense because he did cocaine and his drinking and his pot, and he never had a place of time for them. My husband did the opposite of what you're saying. He chose not to be like his father. But I feel that sadness, that emptiness that he's blocked because it's easier. There's no sense in dwelling on the past, only what you can make of the future in a sense. Although it hurts, you can tell so badly in his heart. And it's just so sad. So I get what you're saying, even though you kind of guys did two different things. You went down that path and he went down the path of, I'm not going to be like my dad. And that's the choice, right? That's how it goes. You got either go down the path or you choose to be the opposite of it. At the end of
those
the day,
those are the only two choices that you have,
yeah,
and I didn't know that at the time because
yeah,
what was normal to me was this lifestyle. It was, smoking with my dad. I started smoking weed with my dad, and that was normal to me. I didn't know that wasn't right. You know what I mean? Drinking, and my uncle, my mom trying to save my brother's life. My mom blames herself a lot because she was fighting for her brother. And and I remember interventions when I was younger. All this was normal to me, and so growing up, it was like, oh, okay, cool. This is the path that I'm going to go down, I didn't know that there was another path.
I was gonna say, right? Exactly. Like, it's just so similar because, like, my husband's mom was the the caring, loving one, the one that, was there for the support. And like I said, uh, you can see the resentment though in all of the boys.
Yeah.
To this day, like their dad still barely gives them time. But it's like one of those things, right? Like I said, everyone each to their own what path to go down. Obviously you went down the rougher path, but it doesn't take away from the emotional hurt and emptiness that you that every child deserves, to be honest with you. You know? Like it's our responsibility, just like it was your parents' responsibility, but nobody's perfect. But
No.
unfortunately, the outcome can be devastating because, like you said, if you grow up around it and that's the lifestyle that you live, no different than Keegan Klein's kind of lifestyle with his father, you
Yeah.
know, that the apple doesn't fall usually far from the tree in many ways because it's so easier to go left than right in a sense, you
Yeah,
know.
you're gonna mimic what you see, what you know, what's comfortable for you. You know,
Absolutely.
and it got to the point. I got so bad. I'll tell you a story. Uh, I used to trick off. You know what I mean? I used to trick off a lot. A lot of people think that that girls are only turned prostitutes and stuff like that, but I used to do it too. You know what I mean? When you're down and out, I used to get. I had this girlfriend, and she had this client that wanted to. She wanted to. Her client wanted to see her have sex with another woman, or another man and himself. So, I took it upon myself, and we went into the hotel room, and I'm like, I didn't have sex with him, but I had sex with my girl. You know what I mean? But I got paid to do it. And then it became a natural thing. And different things, and people don't realize that women don't want to do that stuff. They don't like to do that stuff. You just get to the point where you don't care, where you're going to do whatever you can to fulfill that high,
Yeah.
just to make yourself feel quote unquote normal.
Yeah. Absolutely. Did you see? Just ask you. Did you see what Ozzy was saying in chat there?
Yeah, about uh
His dad was a minister, and
that. Yeah.
I didn't finish reading, and then he would go to jail and visit them for his best suit. Ah,
That's awesome, Ozzy. That's awesome. Your dad
yeah.
was a great man.
Yeah, I don't know that. I think I asked you this, Blaine. Who this is asking? You don't know, or do you know? But I don't think so. Tiara, sure. I don't think you know her though, but you might. She was the escort that basically brought down Judge Fouts, and that's why he's not a judge no more, but he's still a lawyer. Um,
No, I do
no,
not know
yeah.
Tierra.
I saw her online again yesterday, but she always goes through her phases where she'll ignore because her life isn't going so good. And then she'll talk once in a while to me. And then, so she's obviously doing things again, you
Wow,
know?
that's yeah. No, I did not know her. Seeing that, there was only a handful people that I messed with, like Erica Alloway, um, Kathy Gonzalez. There was a few different people that I messed with in that circle. Stephanie Craig, Tiffany Tinder. There's when you're in that aspect, there's only certain people that you deal with, and you don't want people to know. Like when my mom found out that I had done that or was doing that, it was
Uh-huh.
devastating to her. You know what I mean? And and especially me selling these women and taking their money. You know what I mean? Like only giving them enough to get by, or me selling dope. Like at any given time, I'd have an ounce of speed on me, and I would go to Lake Station to pick up heroin. You know what I mean? That's up by Chicago. And just to come back, I didn't care who it was. There was even a time where I would break down light bulbs and sell it as glass. I would get that desperate. You
Sell
know,
it as what?
meth, it comes as glass, right? So
I didn't know. So yeah, no, you're gonna have to teach us, some of us, like we're dummies 101 on this.
okay, so
Yeah.
you can get, so after methamphetamine, it got to the point where they started shutting down anhydrous, right? So it made it harder for people to get anhydrous pneumonia. So meth was crystals. So as over the years, they made it harder to get that. So people started growing ice, which methamphetamine is now in the form of ice, and it takes 28 days to make, and they make it in coolers underground, you know, and they don't use anhydrous pneumonia anymore. So it looks like ice, like crystals, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get a crystal. So, and you could take light bulbs and you could crush them up and make it look the exact same as that. And I would do that, and I would get over on people in my addiction, and I didn't care. It looks like safety glass shards. Yes, absolutely.
So are they like glass, or actual, like, yeah, glass?
No, it's not. The speed.
Because
It
I was
breaks
thinking
down.
safety glass is typically, like, I'm thinking like goggles, and that's like plastic. It's like a
Yeah,
polycarbonate.
it's that color. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that color, you know, and so I got to a point where I was like that, and I didn't care who you were. It was me or nobody. You know, I even stole my own brother's guitar, his Gibson guitar, and tried to sell it.
Oh, what happened with that?
Well, mom about killed me, and I had to bring it back. You know, I didn't make it about 2 blocks down the road when they found out that I stole his guitar. You know,
Desperado, huh?
I made it 2 blocks down the road, but I got into
Yeah.
white collar crime. You know what I mean? I got to the point where I would open up bank accounts, and I would sit there and I would write a check from, let's say, PNC Bank. I would go to the ATM at Star Bank. I would make it for $1,000. I would deposit it, and they would give me half the money. And I just started doing this over and over and over again, and that's how I would start getting money. And you know,
Yep.
you
You kind of do what you got to do, in a sense, really.
yeah.
It's like you're not even thinking of the consequences, just, I'm sure that.
No, you don't. And I remember I was with Stephanie. There was this man that we were living with, and she always called me her brother, quote unquote. And we were living with this guy, and I feel bad now, but at the time I didn't care. You know, she would manipulate, and she would talk to him and get it to where he would take his pants off, and I would take his wallet and his debit card, and I would go down to the ATM and I would drain his bank account, you know.
Yeah.
And or I would use his truck. He let us stay in his house and different things. And when you're in addiction, you don't think about those things. You don't think about the people that you're hurting. You're thinking about how you're going to feel comfortably numb, you know, trying to be normal. You know, I think for the whole last 10 years prior to me trying to get sober, I was trying to discover who I was as a person.
Yeah.
You know, trying to fill that emptiness and that void. And you know, people aren't just addicted to drugs. People are addicted to food, chocolate. You know, there's several addictions out there, you know, but when they are addicted to things, they're trying to fill some void in their life. And unless they're like your husband, you know, he had a void and he went and he filled it in a positive way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, it hurts me knowing what good kids they are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, meaning they're all three, like good people. And just to know that their dad made them feel like they weren't worth anything, devalued. Um, because as a mother, I was the opposite. Like, meaning I wanted my son to have everything that he could possibly feel. caring, kindness, love, support, boundaries, all the different things that you felt made a good parent. Like me, that was my job. That
Yeah.
was my job. Now, today I sit here with my son, hasn't talked to me barely in very little in 10 years because of the divorce, like I was talking to you about. So even when you think you do everything perfect, Blaine, even that gets you sometimes because, again, I thought I gave him everything he needed, apparently, but he was looking for his dad's love, even though his dad didn't treat him that well. But it's amazing what kids, in a sense, do as well, because obviously, why would you want, to more go to the father that was always kind of swacking you in the leg or calling you names or, stuff like that. But yet he was missing that void from his father, and he
Yeah.
felt like he needed to hurt me because his dad was angry at me, and you know what I mean. So there's no book on this shit. There just isn't. You
No.
know.
And I think that's there isn't. You have to deal with it one day at a time. And that's what pisses me off with a lot of addiction counselors who have never been into it, never been involved, never, hey, Daddy Bear.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are trying to tell me, you're going to try to tell me how I feel, you know what I mean? Or how my kids feel. You know, you don't know. Only they know. Only I know. You know what I mean? Unless you have experience. I have more respect for addictions counselors and addiction specialists who have been through
Of
the process.
having, right.
Yeah.
It's like someone trying to be a parent that hasn't been a parent. It's different. It just is. You have to be a parent in order to fully grasp the. So to me, I know a few people that have uh, risen from addictions, and one that I'm so very proud of, because when he hit rock bottom, and this is like an ex-brother-in-law of mine, and now he sits there and he runs. Oh my goodness. Okay, what's with all those noises? Now he sits there and he's an executive director, runs one of those addiction homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things, like he's totally overcome it. So he has the experience. He's been there. He's been as low as you can get. And now he's been as high as you can get in a lot of ways by turning his life around. So, yes. So, if to me, if there's a counselor that has never walked that road, how do they truly understand? Like, yeah, you can read textbooks. Yeah, you can go to school. But I'm sorry. I still feel like the best, is when you've experienced it. The best therapists and that to me are those people that have actually been down that road, and they truly can relate, but not just by textbooks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I went to Fairbanks in 2013. I went to Fairbanks. It was my first rehab I had ever went to. And, I remember the night that I went to rehab, I stayed with my dad, and that night I went looking for a high, and I remember getting high on the porch, and I was drawing up Oxycontin. Opana. I was drawing up Opana 40s in a
And
spoon.
what does that do for you, Blaine? That drug?
It's an opiate, so I like opiates. Opiates make me feel normal. They give me strength. They give me energy. They give me. They numb my body. They numb every
Okay.
aspect of me. They make me feel invincible.
Yeah.
And I love the way that it makes me feel. You know,
Yep.
and so I am. I am. I am sitting on the porch, and my dad comes out. He catches us, and he realizes we're getting high, and he punches the porch. My buddy takes off, and I run into the bathroom because I'm not fitting to waste my high, whether I'm at my dad's house or not. So I get high, and I don't come out for like 2 hours. I'm waiting for my dad to go to sleep because he's bigger than me, and I'm 6'5", 230 pounds, or I'm sorry, 330 pounds. And so I get to yeah, I get to Fairbanks the next day, and the counselor that they give me has never been through addiction in his life. There was a couple people there that had been like some of the nurses, but the specialists were all textbook stuff. And I'm like, bro, you can't tell me you don't know what the hell's going on in my head. You don't know, like, all you know about addiction from reading. And at this time, Suboxone had just came out, and so they were pushing Suboxone on everybody, which is just a supplemental drug for opiates. That's all they were trying to do. So I ended up getting on Suboxone, and they gave me more Suboxone than I was taking opiates. They gave me 8 milligram strips 4 times a day.
Wait,
So,
quickly, what's that chirping sound?
oh, it's the crickets. We have a
Oh, is
fat,
that
we have a
okay?
fat-tailed gecko, and my son has a fat-tailed gecko, and I hate the damn crickets.
Sorry, I was just like going, am I hearing something like this squeaking? But I didn't, and it sounded like a little animal thing, like a little
No,
chirp.
yeah, it's the crickets.
Oh, okay. Sorry to cut you off. I was just like, well, maybe it
No.
was something that you were doing, and I was like, okay. Sorry.
No worries. So, Journey, I'll answer you this question. I'll give my testimony on this. So, this is kind of a long testimony, but that's why you guys are here. You know what I mean? You're interested. So it got to a point after being high for many years. It got to a point where I was married to my wife, Kira McKibben. And she was my best friend growing up. She was actually who I'm with now, the mother of my children's best friend. And she actually introduced me to her. But it was October 11th, 2018. Okay, that's when God captivated my life. So August, there was this pastor that came down. My mom asked me to come to her church because she said there was a guy, an ex-gang member, who was coming to give his testimony. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll go. And I wake up that Sunday morning and I take a shot. You know what I mean? I drink a little bit with my wife. My wife and I go to church. And this pastor, Pastor Chad Fulkerson, and then who my spiritual dad is now, Jason Forthman, they're sitting there giving their testimony. And after they're done, I was amazed because I'm like, man, this guy's in red and black. He was an ex-gang member, sold drugs, did drugs. And he said God captivated his life. So after the service, they had this big thing, and he came up to me. He said, look, man, he said, I'm not supposed to, I usually don't do this, but God told me you're supposed to go back to my halfway house with me. And I looked at him and I said, yeah, right, dude. God don't talk to people. Whatever. So 2 months later, I ended up getting arrested. And I'm finally on my jail cell, and I'm like, I got arrested for a domestic battery and possession of drugs. And I was like, man, Lord, what do you want me to do? And he told me, he said, I want you to get out and I want you to call Pastor Chad. I didn't know this at the time, but this is the voice that I heard in my head. And I didn't know it was the Lord, but I got out and I overdosed. And the Lord brought me right out of it. And I jumped up and I called Pastor Chad. And I went down there. And while I was down there, I first got introduced into the music studio. I got introduced into the Word. I got baptized by the Holy Spirit. Didn't realize that at the time, but 3 months went by and he told me I need to let the idol in my heart go. And that was my wife. I couldn't do it. I bonded her out of jail, came back to Kokomo 2 weeks later. I was back in jail. And, I believe I would say in God probably about 60% of the time right now at this point. And so I get arrested for another domestic battery with my wife. And I'm in jail, and I hired an attorney and I got work release. And so I said, all right, Lord, if you want me to let her go, I'm going to let her go. And I filed for a divorce. And I was clean for a year. I got my own business. I got my own place, got custody of my kids, and then I relapsed. But during this process, this is October, or I'm sorry, by this time it's October 2019. And so we go to the final divorce hearing and it gets postponed. And I see my wife and we start to reconcile things. And her boyfriend comes over with her and we spend family time together during the holidays. And December comes around and my wife, something's wrong with my wife. I didn't know this at the time, but my wife knew that she was dying. She had been diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver stage 3. And so in December 6th was the last day I spent with my wife. December 6th, 2020, I think, or 2019. Yeah, 2019, December 6th, 2019. And I got arrested again for possession of drugs. And I remember going to jail and somebody told me about Teen Challenge. So I went to Teen Challenge. That's what my probation officer recommended. And it's a spiritual place. It's a place for discipleship. And I get there and I start seeing all these weird things, people talking in tongues and doing all this weird stuff, right? I'm like, this ain't no rehab I've ever been to before in my life. Well, it wasn't a rehab. So a month into this, I go to sleep. I pray for my wife every day. I pray for her healing. I pray for her deliverance, and I pray for everything to become healed. And so I go to sleep one night and I walk in this garden. I have this dream. I'm walking in this garden and I'm walking with Jesus, and he's in a cloak and a tunic. It's white. He's not black. He's not white. He's olive skin. And I'm talking about Middle Eastern buildings, and we're walking in this beautiful garden. And I don't remember the conversation, but when I woke up, he said, patience and diligent. Be patient and diligently seek me, for I have laid out the steps before you. And so when I woke up, I knew something was wrong with my wife. So for a whole week, I tried to contact her. And I couldn't get a hold of her. Well, I get a call 2 days later that says my wife had passed away. And I didn't have money for a funeral. I didn't have money for anything like that. And, but he made a way for it. And then a couple months later, I asked, I had been asking, I'm like, Lord, is my wife with you? Is my wife with you? And I had another dream. I was in that same garden and I was throwing dirt. We had my wife cremated. I was throwing dirt on this place where I was burying. And sorry. And this mound comes up and I hit the dirt with my shovel, and out of this mound comes my wife. And she was so beautiful, so beautiful. She was pretty on earth, but she was so beautiful. And I told her, I said, how is this possible? We cremated you. I'm burying you right now. And she said, it's the Lord. He gave me a new body. I said, what? How is this possible? I reached out to grab her pinky, and her pinky came off just like that. And it freaked me out. And I let go, and it just gently floated back into her hand. And I fell to my face, and I'm saying, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. She took me in her hands and said, arise, my love, for you are worthy. And I woke up saying, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. And that's from that day forward, 100% I believed in the Lord. And that's what's kept me sober.
Oh, sorry. I just had turned my mic off there. Yeah, obviously I can tell how much you loved your wife. Now, just to ask you, so you met, and I'm sorry, Stephanie, was it?
No,
because
Stephanie was Ashley. So Ashley, my wife was my best friend.
Which
Her
is
name was
Ashley.
No, not Ashley. My wife was Kira McKibben.
Oh,
and that was my best friend. And Ashley, I got introduced to Ashley through my wife.
Through your wife. Gotcha.
When we were kids, we were all like 15 and 16 years old. But me and her did, yeah, we didn't get. I got with Ashley, had 2 kids, and then me and my wife got married 4 years ago.
Okay, so you had 1 child, or how many with Kira? 2.
I have a stepdaughter. I didn't have any with Kira. I've had both my children with Ashley.
Okay, gotcha. All right, because I was gonna say I was going to go wait, but I thought you were with Ashley, but I forgot. I had actually forgotten that you had said that you had a wife and she had passed on. I actually forgot about that. I'm sorry till you said that actually again.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh right, yeah. But so basically, that's what kind of helped you out, going like I said, having that experience. And again, it's your experience to keep. Doesn't matter if anyone doesn't believe you. It doesn't really matter at all, right? Like,
I don't care what anybody says.
Exactly.
Also, that testimony's been the same from day one.
Yeah, I have the same thing. Remember, with them, an experience for me too. So it's like, doesn't matter. Nobody can take my experience away. So I know that there's another side. I know we just don't stop here. I know that, but it's something that somebody can't take away from me. And again, everyone has to find their own purpose in life and own meanings and whichever at the end of the day. If there's only the one thing that we're in control of, we're in control of our past. Nobody else is. We can only us, your thoughts and your actions. Those are the only 2 things you can control. The rest of it's out of your control. We can't control the trolls. We can't control, what other people are thinking, doing this, and that's what I always know. Is we're in charge of that part, and it doesn't matter if somebody doesn't believe you. It's like I said, if that was your experience and that's what helped you to move forward, then like I said, it's a great story. Not story, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'll say no. Jesus was not telling my dreams. He was just a man. He was a man. He wasn't black. He wasn't white. He was olive. He was Middle Eastern. He was olive skin, from the Jesus that I saw. So it takes a lot. I didn't believe in that aspect.
Yeah.
I'm spiritual. I'm a spiritual person. I'm not this ritualistic
Bible. Yeah,
Bible,
what we call Bible thumping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what we.
I'm just a spiritual person.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't read the Bible. Like, I've read the Bible when I was younger, but meaning that's not how I live my life. I live it very spiritually, just simply about, it was just kind of one of those things that like I said, I kind of follow like the Buddhist spiritual way.
Yeah.
In a sense. And, it's like, I don't have no set. Like I said, Jenny there, she, I think she kind of uses Bible verses and that sometimes. And she sends me love and light sometimes in a song and whatever. So meaning I know there's another side, but I'm not limited to what a Bible says. I just limit myself to, I don't even limit myself. I just kind of take in the world as a whole and I decide what I believe is true or not true. I know that there's another side. I know that there's like a beautiful thing. Can I say that, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just either you choose to believe that there's something or choose to believe that there's nothing. And at the end of the day, I try to follow this path of good intentions, good morals, good this, good that. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, no, you explain that perfect. Like Teresa said, some of the biggest hypocrites I know sit in church,
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And they do. I have been in many Facebook groups, not many, but enough to know that I have seen where these people that say that they're these, church going and all this, and then they treat people horribly, and then they'll use scriptures from the Bible and stuff. And I'm like, trust me, if you were godly and church going like that, and you believed in what you're saying, you would not be treating people like this. So
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter.
I try to live by the two principles, the New Testament principle. There's only two rules that the Lord really gave us in the New Testament. He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, strength, and mind and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Love covers a multitude of sins. That's what I live by, and that's how I believe. And I believe that's, I'm spiritual in that aspect. I've had my supernatural experiences, and that's what saved my life. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I smoke and drink and cuss? You know what I mean? Yeah. But
absolutely. I'm not going to be perfect
drugs
either. Marta Oberlander, is that someone that you know specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm going to do a segment with my mom, if I can get her to do it one time. I want her to talk about
absolutely.
I want her to talk about some of the effects my addiction has had on her, and because I'm affected my family, especially my grandma. It's affected my grandma a lot with me and my uncle, and different things.
Well, I was going to say, like, at the end of the day, exactly. It's no different than when you were saying about your daughter writing that letter, again, you can't sit there and whatever their perception has been, is what they have felt and gone through. And it's just one of those things, right? At the end of the day, I'm sure, like, you have hurt your mom and your grandma by some of the actions you've definitely done, and you're not proud of, I'm sure.
No, absolutely not.
And so again, you know what, it's hard to get the respect back when it's lost, in a sense. So it's kind of like one of those things is that, it's hard to lose the stigma, the perception. Like, my brother was a little thief when we were kids, and he'll never lose that perception. So if anything went missing, you would look to my brother regardless, because he was the little thief, from when we were younger and stuff like that. What you reading there?
Oh man, my grandma, my grandma. Yeah, this person knows my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he is too. When I was younger, I want to get this off my chest, because I don't know, maybe one day this person's family member will watch this. But when I was younger, this is one thing from my past that kind of fueled my addiction. So everybody in addiction has a lot of secrets. When I was probably 6 or 7 years old, I remember going in, I went into the bathroom and I found this dirty magazine. And my mom and dad fought all the time when they were married, when they were together. And my mom, she was an aggressive woman. She kind of beat up on my dad a little bit, I'm not saying my dad was perfect, but I didn't. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yes, I remember who you are. Yeah, I remember, Marta. How are you doing? Patty Binge, is that your mom? If it is, I love Miss Patty. But yeah, so I remember finding this magazine, and
the clean one you were talking about?
Yeah, the dirty magazine.
Definitely, so. Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yes, I love Patty. I miss her so much. Yeah, I found the dirty magazine, and so I went and I remember my mom was doing laundry, and I asked her, about sex and whatever. And she's like, "Oh, where'd you find this?" And my dad was always gone anyways, and so I didn't want my mom and dad to fight. And I just came clean to my mom. I didn't get a chance to talk to my dad about this, but I told him that there was this old man in our neighborhood that kind of drank, like he looked after us kids, gave us candy and stuff, you know, and around, this was in the 90s. And so abduction and stuff like that wasn't real big. But I told my mom that I learned it from him, and it got to a point to where I played out this whole thing, and I got the attention that I had said that he molested me when he really didn't. And I sent a man to prison when I was 6 or 7 years old for something he didn't do. And if his family ever sees it, it's Horace Heffley's family. I just want to apologize to that. I've tried to reach out and talk to them, but he did not do anything. And I've had to live with that secret my whole entire life until just a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
All
So
because I didn't want my mom and dad to fight and one of them to go into prison, you know, because it was actually my dad's magazine, and I didn't want, you know, because I was scared.
yeah.
I lied.
Wow. So how long was he sent to prison for?
I don't even know. I don't know. It was the last time. I didn't even know. I just know that he got arrested. I don't know if he went to prison or what the outcome was. I just remember his name still.
Oh, I don't even know what to say to that one, because I've always wondered about people that are in jail for crimes that they didn't commit. And back then, you know, it seemed like it was, you know, like it's not like it is today, obviously,
No,
with
definitely.
DNA and all and everything like that. So, and all you had to do was say that this happened and they believed you?
Yeah, like I said it. They took me to the police station. I remember getting questioned. Like, it was just, I didn't think it was going to turn into what it did.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, I was trying to protect my dad, you know, because I loved him. I didn't want my mom to fight with my dad or this or that. And so my dad tried to kill the guy. You know, it turned into, and so I'm already into this big old thing. You know, I was scared that if I told the truth that I would get in trouble, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I had to go to the police station, and I remember talking to the cops, and you know, they took him to jail. I remember the day that they took him to jail. I just felt so bad because he was a nice guy, and that haunted me. I tried to drown that out a lot in my addiction.
Oh yeah. So can I ask you then? So you said that was only a couple of years ago, Blaine. So like meaning, so who did you tell?
I told my mom, and I told my pastor.
Okay.
I told my mom. Yeah, I came clean to my mom. I told my mom that. I told my pastor. I've tried to find his family, and I want them to know that he was a good man and that he had nothing to do with it.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking later.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say it now. Is that like, are you sure you should have been saying that on here?
Saying what?
Like meaning, because like, couldn't you get charged for that still?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I was only 6 years old. You know what I mean? I was only six years old when it happened.
No. Yeah, I know that, but for the fact of, even if you're an adult now, that's what's going through my head, is like, because somebody went to prison because of that. So that's what I'm kind of going.
No, I don't think so. I don't, because it has, like, even if it was, I was a child and I didn't know better. You know what I mean? Because,
Yeah.
you know, it's been 20 some years ago. And
Yeah.
even if I did, you know what I mean? There's statute of limitations on things like that. You know, I was a child and I was scared.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. I don't know nothing about the laws. Yeah, I know he was a child, but I don't know what the rules are for stuff like that. You know,
I don't know. I don't know
like at
either.
all.
But if
Yeah.
if something like that were to happen, then so be it. You know what I mean? You know,
I was
it's
so I was gonna say, so you said you tried to reach out to him. Did you ever find him?
no. I'm still currently looking for his family.
Okay. Do you know his first name and last name?
Yep.
You can tell me, and I can look up on Intellius for you.
Yes, I'm going to. I don't. I doubt he's still living because he was like in his 60s or 70s.
At the time. Yeah. Well, you can put the name later to me in Messenger, and I could just look if you want.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Absolutely.
I'm sure he's not going to put the name here in chat there, Jenny.
Definitely not. Definitely not going to put the name in chat.
Yeah, he remembers the name though. Okay, all right, yeah. So anyway, sorry. I
No,
was not even gonna lie. I was just caught off guard by that. I was not expecting you to tell that story at all. And I'm
I
like,
know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when you're in addiction, a lot of people have secrets that fuel that addiction. You know,
okay,
and that was probably one of my darkest secrets.
I get
You
it,
know?
right? And I'm sure, like, absolutely, like, so I can see exactly, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, and it's kind of like when I think of Delphi murders and stuff like that, I always kind of think what you're kind of thinking, like, what impact is that the persons, let's just say persons, responsible, who is feeling that impact, that they know they did something horrible? Are they regretting it? Are they so scared for all the, because they know that they're going to go to prison and do it for years? Like, you know, like, like that plays on your emotions, like just like you, right? You know what happened, the guilt of it, and you just wonder sometimes, because sometimes, like yourself, right? It obviously drove you to a point at some point that you felt that you needed to release it in a sense, just to almost heal yourself, and you know, it's almost like freeing yourself of that burden that you've been carrying, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
I mean, in all honesty, because that's a big burden to carry as a child. Absolutely, you know. Did you Blaine? Did you kind of, I don't want to say forget about it, but did you block it and pretend like it didn't even exist or happen?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. And then as I got older, you know, the more things I did, the more things, you know, there was a time where I forgot a lot of things because I chose to. But as I got older and I started remembering things, and once I started trying to deal with all of the hurts and the habits and the hangups that I had, you
Yeah.
know, that was one of the roots to my addiction.
Someone's trying to get a wrench from you.
What's up, Michael? Hope you're doing well. Um, if you guys don't know, check out Hunting Evil True Crime Investigates. So there you go, brother. Marta, no, I did not. I did not live next to Grandma at this time. I lived on 523 West Jefferson Street.
Hmm. So, okay, that's what did Teresa say? And that's what she best was better. Have zero remorse. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, you know, like, exactly.
Yeah, I'll look it up on my case.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and possibly still alive. And kind of like Deb said there, no, he couldn't get charged, but he could clear the man's name with LE.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to clear his name.
For his family's sake and for healing. Yeah, because something like that obviously would it,
Yeah,
have
because
it.
his grandkids. What if his grandkids look at him like, oh, my grandpa was a pedophile? No, I don't want that guilt on my heart. You know what I mean? I've lived with it for so long. I want his family to look at him a totally different way.
Mm.
You know, like I said, this is Confessions of an Ex-Addict. You
Oh,
know what
I
I
know. You know what? Yeah, Blaine, I know we're on two different sides of the planet on this stuff because, like, I mean, for me, I'm just like, like I said, I have to process things, and sometimes, and that was when I definitely was going, huh? Like, I'm thinking to myself, should you have been saying that? I don't even know. Are there consequences to this? You know, like,
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, okay. So, but don't get me wrong. I always appreciate the honesty, and you share what you ever going to share. I mean, this is your channel here. And regardless, it's just sharing your life stories and, appreciate the truthfulness, but yeah, like, if he is still alive, like you said, and we can get in contact with the family so that at least it's like healing for them. Um, like, just to know that he did not do this, they might not want anything to do with you, might, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
Um,
doesn't matter as long as they know.
yeah, you know, um, I just think of wow, to carry that around with you. So what did your mom say when you told her?
She was kind of at all, kind of like you, kind of processing the whole thing, kind of like, she cried, when I told her my reasoning behind
Yeah,
everything. I was scared. I didn't want her. I didn't want them to go to jail. You know what I mean? They kept fighting, you know,
yeah,
and she cried because again, she feels like it's her fault that I went into addiction, you
yeah,
know, and it's not my mom's fault. I made my own choice, but I went with what was normal and natural
yeah,
to me. You know what I mean? And the only way to fill that emptiness and that void, that I knew how was to run towards the women, the drugs, the alcohol, the partying, where I got accepted because that's where I felt loved,
yeah.
or so I thought.
Right. So you thought, yeah, absolutely. You
You
know,
know,
I mean, again, Blaine, at the end of the day, right? You can't undo things that have happened in the past. All you can do is create a new future. You know,
yeah,
everyone has their skeletons, some more than others in a sense, type of thing. Again, you know, um, like, I know that wasn't obviously a nice thing to do. No kidding, obviously.
yeah,
Um, you know, um, but I actually really appreciate the fact that you were very open about it, actually. You know what I mean? Because it's like I said, like, a lot of people might not have even said that whatsoever.
yeah,
Um, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people might have still kept that, inside. But, to be honest with you, I always feel like releasing is healing. Releasing is very healing. When you've kept something so long inside, like I said, it's like a bricks on your shoulder, the different things, right? Whether it's with your dad, your things that you've experienced. The more you talk about things, the more you open up. It's actually very therapeutic and healing, and it helps alleviate all that pressure that one feels. Yeah, what you got going on there? Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
And
Who this? I don't know. It had to have been like 95 or 96. 95 or 96, 97 at the latest, but I'm pretty sure 95, 96, somewhere around there. You know, it's just I have a lot of things in my closet, and if I was
yeah,
to shoot all
don't give
tonight,
them all. Don't give them all.
I'm gonna share them all. That's what I'm gonna
Well,
build this
not to
channel
name
around.
one night. Yeah.
Yeah, not in one
My
night.
poor heart couldn't take that. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm kidding. But no, but obviously, right, in doses. Like I said, Larry Lawton, I really liked the way that he, without intent, without knowing what was going to happen, and he sits at 1.41, like 1.4 million subscribers. He was just telling his stories. You know, he was just being honest and open and telling his stories, and through that he just gained a lot of followers because people like sincerity. Because if somebody lies, the only person they're kidding is themselves at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely,
Right. And if
absolutely.
you get caught in a lie, then you lose the respect in a sense. So it's one of those things. You gonna
Oh
tell
yeah,
the
and I want to say for everybody who donated, I got my green screen.
Yes.
Thank you for those who donated. Sonny's going to help me figure it out.
I was gonna say though, I wonder what size was that? You're gonna have to tell me what size because that looks awfully small. Either
Yeah,
your
this
head
one's
is really
small.
big.
I'm going to have to get a bigger one. Look at this. This one's small. It goes on the back of my chair. I need the bigger one.
Yeah, but okay, you know what? I'm just trying to figure out if that's look. The other one looks smaller than mine just by looking at it.
I think it is. I'm going to have to
You're gonna
get it.
have to show me what size you ordered, and I'll tell you if it's the same size. And then, because like I told you, you have to bring in your camera closer.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have to send this one back because
I
I
was
don't
gonna
think I
say,
can bring my camera in that close.
yeah. Well, no, well, meaning it's it's zooming it in. I mean, but then again, Blaine, I can like your camera as close as it is because barely your whole head fits in there.
I know. I know.
You
I just need a green screen that fits. I'm going to have to order a big one.
Hi, Polygraph.
Hello, Polygraph.
How are
Thank you.
you? Oh yeah, and I'm gonna drop Blaine's PayPal link again. If anyone,
Yeah, if you guys want to if you guys want to support the channel and support what I'm doing, Sonny here dropped the PayPal link. It's at the top.
yeah,
Anything you guys donate goes back into the channel and things that I'm doing. Sonny and Deb and Adam have been really good to me, and we are a family. And
yeah,
I love those
yes,
guys.
it's
And
people
check out
helping
Sonny's
people.
channel too. Sorry, Sonny. It's a criming shame. Most of you guys have came and know me from over there. If you don't, Marta, check out Sonny's channel. I know you like crime stuff, and I know you'll like her channel too.
Yeah. Oops. Thanks, Blaine. Again, it's people helping people, right? You know, that's what it's about. And you just hope that like I said, through it all, like meaning for me, for instance, um, I never forget the people that impacted my lives or tried to help me, and do different things, in a sense. Um, and I just try to do the same thing, right? Like again, to me, it's like I think I don't even find it effort to try to help other people, you know, in a sense. And so I have no problem. Like I know that a lot of people don't sometimes do the same back to me, and I thank you very much for your kind words. Um, because I have no problem, like I said, sharing the stuff on the Twitter and helping to grow your channel in a sense, and if it surpasses ours at some point, then so be it. Like there's no whatever. It's just helping people, and
Yeah.
you're doing it with no expectation. Well, the only expectation is you still gotta love me forever, but maybe just till I'm dead or something.
Yeah, I throw your wrench all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, this my buddy. What is up, Ask Me?
Oh, there's Adam.
There's Adam. Yes, thank you, my friend. That's what my channel is based off of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be raw. I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna be that voice for myself for those who need one. Kind of like you guys are for the people who have been deceased or fighting the crime. I'm going to be the voice for the addicts. I'm going to be the voice for the deceased. I'm going to be the voice for the missing. I'm going to be the voice because that's what I feel I need to do. I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to be raw. I'm going to be real because there's no other way to be.
It's therapeutic too. Again,
Yeah.
it is. When you realize that the awareness that you're bringing to other people, you know, it's a good thing to be. It's a good thing to do. There's nothing more rewarding, like I always keep saying, there's nothing more rewarding than to be unselfish in a sense and just be real and honest. And if people, like I said, if the haters are gonna hate, they're gonna hate. Don't care. But the people that it impacts, is what makes the difference. Oh, you've been watching, stalker.
Yeah. Well, he's the one who texted me and said, "Hey, just want you to know you spelled BYE instead of buy in the banner," and I had to change it real quick.
Oh, in the banner? Yeah, I was. Is that where the typing was? Where I was like, Oh, small letter I, Sunny's in small letters, and that part of it are you talking about?
No, where it says, "Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Please share your thoughts and questions."
Oh, in
And
that banner.
yeah, that
Mm-mm.
bit.
Oh, I
Yeah, I
was
haven't checked the other one.
yeah, I was like judging your writing underneath uh when you sent me the link or whatever, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's a typical mail for you."
Yeah.
Small I, small s, and I'm like, you know how like a lot of times in certain things it will autocorrect when you're typing, you know,
Yes.
or else I would
Yeah.
probably end up with a bunch of small i's myself. I am not like I try to be more better when I'm doing things or try to be more proactive at watching what I'm doing. But I am by far anything to do with like English and typing it out where it needs its commas and these and those. That is just not me. You know, Sunny is the thumbnail elitist.
Oh yeah, you already know.
I am a little picky on that. But even like Deb will be like, Sunny, did you mean to put 6:30 or she'll, you know, they get the odd time I get caught making my own mistakes in mine and that, or I'll catch it myself and I'll be like, oh shit, because it's got to go back and repair it. I like making those little suckers, those little thumbnails.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. You're
they're
gonna have to
fun.
make me a couple
Yeah. Hey.
on your new channel. You know what I mean, or on your new website. Do you want to tell people about what you're doing or no?
Um. mm,
Not yet.
Not yet. You know, yeah, not yet. I told them in my video yesterday. So yeah, today I was just working on my website. GoDaddy, Deb. I made it at GoDaddy.com. Um, so yeah, but I'll wait on that one, but not just because I like to be a little bit more prepared for you
Oh
know
yeah, yeah. No worries, no worries.
yeah. But I love creating those videos, those type of videos.
I do.
Um, Lane, this is my main account. You gave me a rent on my other account. Can you mod this one too? Oh, let's take a vote. Let's take a vote. All those in favor? Well, actually, the only vote that counts here is Blaine's.
Yeah, I already gave her the mod.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm. For a nominal fee, you could
yes.
purchase one of those wrenches. It's a gold wrench. You just, might look blue, but it's gold.
It's gold. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how long you're planning on doing your little segments, like these segments for. So
I think
you just,
I think um I think that's it for tonight. I think that was a nice little live. I don't want
yeah,
to drag it out. What I mean, too long.
right,
Uh,
right, because then people don't really, honestly, when they're really too long, they bore most people after, 30. You can captivate someone for 20 to 30 minutes typically,
yeah,
for the most part. If you'll ever look at your YouTube, 20 to 30 minutes is, you know, as much as you'll usually like people with our 4 hour ones that we've done. I'm sure that they just go skip, skip.
yeah, yes, I
But
do agree on that Sugar Boom Boom song. Never silent. How are you doing? So, well, for those of you, I think we're going to end this here.
yeah,
This segment had a lot in it, and it'll kind of blow you away towards the end there because Sonny was kind of speechless. But
I don't. You know what, Blaine? Kind of like you telling me things. My emotions, people can read me like a book. You know,
yes,
and like my face and whatever gives it away. I needed to process because I was not expecting you to say that.
yeah,
Then I was like, "Oh shit, should he be saying this? Oh shit, Blaine."
yeah. It's
So, so that's why I was thinking to myself, I was just worried about you. Like, should you be saying this or not? But honestly, I don't know the laws or anything like that.
yeah, no, it's okay. If you didn't catch tonight's live, we're at 1:15, so I will be back on again next Saturday, possibly throughout the week, but for sure you guys can catch me every Saturday at 9:30. That is my main time. that is what I'm going to set. I know a few people have asked me. So a few people have asked me, when am I going to go live again? When am I going to go live again? If you don't see me throughout the week or see me drop a video, you can always guarantee 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
All right.
so-
Is that it? Are we out of here?
Yep, that's it. We're out of here. We love you guys.
All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. And we're, oh, wait, Lane, wait, one sec.
Okay.
One sec. Because I was going to say, don't forget tomorrow night that we're going to have a special guest. Michael, get jealous. But yes, you're not going to want to miss tomorrow night for sure. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a shocker for sure. And yeah, should I leave you in suspense? We're not going to tell you.
I can't wait for tomorrow night.
Yeah, but yeah, you guys have a good night. Just want to remind you guys of that. Sunday nights, it's 9:30 EST as well. See you there, and we'll drop whenever Adam decides to drop the thumbnail tomorrow is when it drops. Alrighty, have a great night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Bye.